dead bird drones, cow snot lube, Loch Ness monster spotted, Machine Gun Kelly punching a fan by request, erotic carp calendar, people who married dolls. Welcome to This Year in Weird. This week in Weird, scientists turn dead spiders into claw machines. Researchers in Houston have made all your spidey nightmares come true with the new field of necrobiotics. Scientists noticed a dead spood in the lab and Googled, why do spiders' legs curl up when they die? Discovering that spiders have an internal hydraulic system did what any rational people of science would do, turn the corpse into a puppet. I'd mentioned Jim Henson rolling in his grave, but that might give them ideas. Arachnophobia, trypanophobia, necrophobia, all in one video. I spoil you. A professor of mechanical engineering at the university claims the spiders are not reanimated, just sleeping or pining for the fjords. Remember, spiders don't kill people. People operating spiders kill people. I'm Ingrid.
You're creeped out.
This week in Weird. This week in Weird, monkeys in Japan stealing human babies. The Japanese city of Yamaguchi is under attack from damn dirty apes. 58 people have been assaulted by the macaques, those pink-faced fellows who always seem to be on vacation. But sweet and petite no more. These foot-long fiends have been caught trying to steal babies, invading kindergartens and refusing to give up their turn on the monkey bars. Some of these frugivorous freaks have gotten a taste for meat. Unseduced by food traps, they remain fangin' for a bite of pinky toe pie. Residents have called the monkeys big and fat, but not to their faces. It's no wonder Yamaguchi is located right above Fuck, you okay? The city has assembled a special unit of monkey crime fighters. Let's hope the people of Yamaguchi are in safe hands. Tiny little hands. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I'm Ingrid.
あなたは猿のおじさんです。
This week in Weird. This week in Weird. Party-crashing pig turns dream wedding into a nightmare. All hell broke loose recently when a mother of the bride brought a +1 to the wedding. A huge potbelly pig. Her mother calls the bacon baby her son. The daughter wrote, even after I told him I don't want him at my wedding, she continued to try to get me to plan my wedding around him. How dare you? That's your brother. When requests for a buffet fit for a pig were denied, mother protested that the piggy is her support animal. The fiancé's family being Muslim, a filthy swine at their wedding was not kosher, nor halal. The male pig rubbed up against the sister-in-law's leg, making her scream. This freaked the farm animal out, who hoofed it right into expensive glass decorations. The bride yelled at her mother, saying the sow had to leave, while the hog was allowed to stay. Not dressed properly for a wedding, it was given a coat of honey. I'm Ingrid. You're a pork chop. This week in Weird. This week in Weird. That's not my coffin. It's double trouble this week with 2 tales of freaky funerals. A man attending the Mother Earth Festival in Bolivia has woken up 50 miles away in a coffin. The 30-year-old woke to pee and discovered he'd been buried alive. Realizing,
I'm in a glass case of emotion!
He smashed his way out and ran to safety. And you thought a doodle drawn on your face while passed out was bad. The man believes he was intended as a human sacrifice to Mother Earth. Don't know what to get your mum this Mother's Day? How about
It's a dude in a box.
In South Australia, a woman has found an imposter in her mother's coffin. 100 mourners were gathered when the mix-up was discovered. Uh-oh! The cremation went ahead, barbecuing the wrong person.
Oops-a-daisy!
The funeral home offered to glue the body back together. No, they really didn't. I'm Ingrid. You're a coffin boffin. This week in Weird. Man had babies with a doll. A man in Colombia who was tired of being single is set to marry a life-size doll. It's just like that movie, Lars and the Real Gargoyle. The 49-year-old has fathered 2 Cabbage Patch babies to Natalia. Considering the infants have no skin or organs, you might want a paternity test. Get it? Yeah. And with looks like that, best be careful no one steals your girl to put in a very hot fire. But this doll diddler is not alone. Recently, a Brazilian woman tied the knot with her ragdoll husband. Her mother sewed Marcello for her out of boyfriend material. One night Marcello pulled the old, "but it feels so much better without a condom," and soon after their first child was born. While the birth was painless, the placenta and umbilical cord were very real, and where the hell did she buy that? Probably on Wish. I'm Ingrid. This is my fiancé Pedro and baby Peniche. This week in Weird. The Loch Ness Monster is back. Just like herpes reappears every few months, the Loch Ness Monster has reared its ugly head. New footage shows the prehistoric lake snake making a summer splash. Not only is this blur a chilling sight, but that sheep looked at me funny. Nessie wasn't just swimming, she was swimming naked. At over 90 years old, you could say she's a Loch Ness Monster I'd like to find. Clearly this sighting is just for attention, because this lizard lady can't get enough of it, proven by Nessie's last appearance on camera, her sex tape.
Oh, Bigfoot! What a big foot you have! Oh.
That's one hot mess monster. The first photo of Nessie was taken in 1933 by a gynecologist. I'm surprised he didn't take it underwater. I'm sorry, but are you the hot mess monster? Or a Loch Ness MILF? A Loch Ness monster I'd like to find. What kind of monster are you? Cockatoo. Don't wear clothes? How about some stickers to cover your body? You're scaring the neighbours. Now you can wear This Week in Weird, new from CreepoVision. I'm not talking about Armie Hammer when I say a strange failed star has streaked into this week's news headlines. A brown dwarf, not going there, part planet, part star, has shed its outer layers, something that astronomers have never seen before. To be fair, it was all alone in the dark of space when it slid its girdle off, having no idea dirty little monkeys were on Earth watching it through a telescope. It's no wonder astronomers are called space perverts. How did they convince a wannabe star to shimmy out of its dress with pockets of monoxide? Are those space pants? 'Cause your mass looks out of this world. Brown dwarfs cannot become stars because they can't get hot enough to go out, but I'm sure after a few drinks they look good enough. These planetoids were only spotted 27 years ago, the same year we first saw Batman's nipples in Batman's Forever.
You satellite this planet often?
A brown dwarf has shed its outer layers. Hey baby, what's your star sign? Are those space pants? 'Cause your mass looks out of this world. Hey baby, get in my rocket, it's got some woofers. Was your father a thief? Did he pluck the stars from the sky to put in your eyes, huh? A criminal, some common thug robbing the galaxy to stuff in your stupid little eyeballs? Puh. Space perverts. Weird. Beyond Meat executive bites man's nose. A senior exec of the vegan food company has bitten off more than he can chew. Part of a person's face. Doug Ramsey stands accused of road rage, terror threats, and acting like a piranha out of a 1980s movie. Another man at the football game attempted to inch his car ahead of Ramsey's, and so Doug tried to gain back the inch by biting it off his face. Ramsey punched his fist through the rear windscreen of the other vehicle. Clearly time we stop asking vegans where they get their protein. The chief operating officer, has been charged with battery because nothing gives a nose that crunch like a bit of batter. Beyond Meat have just announced their newest product, Soy Lent Green. Tastes like people made of soy. Or is that the other way around? Woman hospitalized after a dog in her mouth. Amanda Gomo got a gobbo full when she took an afternoon nap in her Bristol home, joined by sweet little chihuahua Belle. While Amanda snoozed peacefully, the Chi-Chi's guts launched a backdoor attack, splattering diarrhea into her mouth. Squirt alert. Squirt alert. Amanda was vomiting out of both ends for hours, but couldn't get the taste of Chihuahua chowder out of her. The vet treated the poo-poo-pooch's tummy bug, but soon Amanda was also needing an ambulance. She remained in hospital for several days. Her discharge note was the brown note. I'm not even kidding. The moment I discovered this story, I was sitting at a park. I look up and there is a dog taking a crap, looking me right in the eyes. I guess that means I'm next. Elon Musk built a nightmare bot. This robo-creep has no eyes, no face, no soul, and is still somehow more human than Musk. Optimus, also known as Tesla bot, also known as
I look into the abyss. The abyss looks into me.
Has just been unveiled, surely to satanic chants and complaining they can no longer blame immigrants for taking their jobs. Amazon are also racing to have the first humanoid robots on the market, probably to replace all their dead workers. Humans are just so hard to keep alive. Considering Teslas keep bursting into flames, maybe keep your killer robot in the laundry at night. Elon has voiced his concerns over an AI invasion, but that's because he has single-handedly fathered most of the next generation of humans.
Coming this summer without protection.
It's Deadbeat Dadbot.
Man was caught smuggling what in his pants? A New York man has been arrested for crossing the US border with more in his pants than what God gave him. A trouser snake. In fact, it was a danger noodle trio, and this five-legged man was packing no permit for his pants.
I say dead pickle.
Considering Burmese pythons are one of the largest snakes in the world, he was really pushing it with the believability. I'd love to see the customs officer's face when they x-rayed that site. It must have looked like a ball of tangled necklaces. Considering the pythons are labelled injurious to humans, the man is lucky he didn't get bites in his tighty whities. I guess his anaconda don't want none unless you got funds, hun. He faces 20 years in prison, where he will learn to smuggle things in the back instead of the front. For the bouncy Arthur fighting. Mad scientists create a lube that reduces the spread of HIV and herpes by 70%. Before you drop your trousers and send an invite to everyone on Tinder to ride you like a freshly sanitized pogo stick, you might want to know exactly what is in this miracle lubricant. Do you think it's A, water left over from boiling hot dogs, B, cow snot, or C, moist glue squeezed out of pre-licked postage stamps? If you picked cow snot, you picked a winner. Researchers in Stockholm have put the why in KY jelly. Considering STI rates are back on the rise after the end of lockdowns, this gel from hell should really get you in the mood. Better that it's cow kapow and not a load of bull. Oh, yuck, yuck. Subscribe. Happy Halloween, haunted head. How would you like to speak to the dead? Well, now you can. Digital clones created by Hereafter AI are allowing you to chit-chat with the recently deceased. Deadbots even use the same emoticons the now dead did. Great, how long until we're getting eggplants and squirt emojis from the ghost of Liberace? You, not me. When communicating with the ungodly simulacra of your mum or dad, you have to wait for them to stop speaking. Elbows off the table. Keep that bloody door open with a boy in your room. Another company is turning the post-living into video avatars who have been attending their own funerals. Welcome to the uncanny valley of the shadow of death. They take a look at my life and realize this is identity theft. The company was founded by billionaire Bruce Wayne, who just wants to talk to mommy and daddy one more time. This was episode 13. There will be many more. Roll up to Elon's big blue tick sale! The man who sent a car into space and spent $44 billion on a burning pit of primal screams is hosting a fire sale on blue check marks. Musk proposed a $5 monthly verification fee, raised it to $20, and when horror novelist and teenage girls panty enthusiast Stephen King said, Musk dropped it to $8. The chief twit further drove this home in a Tesla mildly on fire by posting a meme showing someone will pay $8 for a coffee, but not for a tick emoji. It's amazing the billionaire knows how much an iced coffee costs or how many children he has this week. If Elon is so desperate for money, why doesn't he just go out and get a job instead of begging from poor little millionaires? Hey, Muskrat love, bring that G-string over here. I'm gonna pay your way through clown college. Some of it's coins, sorry. Make that man a baby. A chicken has boarded a plane in Florida smuggling something deadly in its stuffing hole. TSA agents yelled freeze, but the chicken had already thawed. They shouted, put your hands up, mother plucker, but chickens don't have hands. How is this finger-licking bad chicken gonna pull the trigger of its hidden handgun? Luckily, the gun was not cocked because this bird was a lady. Chickens do not have an external anus, but instead a single hole that contains the rectum, genitals, and a Glock 19. But this chicken had an accomplice, the human man who took the dead bird on the plane, bringing new meaning to carrying luggage. This coincides with the worst bird flu outbreak in UK history, and as the birds go into lockdown without their ex-boyfriend's Netflix, it's expected to turn into a cannibal bloodbath. If I was one of those chooks, I too would pack a magnum up me clacker. Life-size doll husband caught cheating. News update. The fabricated husband of a Brazilian woman has been exposed for going on a straycation. Text messages found on his phone reveal the toy boy has been busted trying to poke his thread through the eye of another woman's needle. I guess he found someone with more pincushion for the pushin'. Marcelo and Myri Vonnie's marriage is already coming apart at the seams 11 months in, or 48 washes. Watch the video where I lay bare 2 shocking human-to-doll marriages, link below. So who is Marcelo's plushy hussy? A real doll? A Barbie? Or just a fleshlight in a wig? Marcelo has been kicked out of the bedroom and forced to sleep on the couch. Better hope that sofa has no rips in it, because as we know, any stuffing hole's a goal. Hot models take it all off in risque carp calendar. Don't be fooled by imitations, this is the official Carpenizer calendar. If you weren't already scared to go into Grandpa's shed, you can now feast your fishy eyes upon the scantily clad bodies of nubile fish mistresses. This calendar combines the 3 things men love: fishing, kissing, and edging. Creator Hendrik Polar said, "Fishing is one of the biggest hobbies in the world, and the erotic carp calendar is conquering the world." I am very uncomfortable when a German says that. Casting sessions for the models were done with a medium action spinning rod. Any model below an 8 was kissed and thrown back. See that? Resting fish face. Though the carp are completely naked, some of them see it as a great way to get famous on OnlyFins. Bull bonk juice stolen by thirsty thieves. 60 containers full of bull sperm were stolen from a town in Germany known for its ice cream with a secret ingredient. I wonder what it is. The baby batter needs to be kept cool with liquid nitrogen because it will melt at 98 degrees. The sperm was intended for artificial insemination, not to be mistaken with artificial intelligence, which is just stealing artists' jobs. I reveal how cow snot is preventing HIV and herpes, link below. Considering the farmer obtained the dong water through man-hand to boy cow milking, or a bovine fleshlight, maybe the load was confiscated as evidence of a centornographic crime. The timing of the spooge heist couldn't be worse, after a dry season known as No Nut November. Now the bulls are nutting again, the vegans can have their milk. San Santa arrested in police showdown? You may have seen Mommy kissing Santa Claus, but these shoppers saw Santa kissing asphalt. Police were called to hardware store Bunnings when Father Christmas appeared full of Christmas beer. He was tackled to the ground. What did you people put in his cookies and milk this year? Kris Kringle wreaked his havoc at the Frankston store, a city south of Melbourne where you can get pregnant making eye contact with a guy on the train. Got a dog? And if it wasn't hot enough wearing a big red suit in a heat wave, cops added pepper spray for seasoning. I bet his Bunnings snag tasted great through all those spicy tears. It wasn't long until a second Santa got on the naughty list, whizzing by cops on an illegal motorised scooter. Saint Nick blew a blood alcohol of near double the limit. Upon release, Bogan Claus requested one thing of police. Can you spike me beer in the drink holder, you shiver brains? It happened again. A guy is in a relationship with a doll. Is Tinder teaming up with Toys R Us? Here we go. Aussie tradie falls in love with a love doll. But how does his fiancée feel? Like skin. She feels like skin. But where the rubber meets the load, that's where you'll find Rod. The 54-year-old has come clean to his real human fiancée that he is having a torrid affair with a real doll. Speaking of coming clean, how do they clean out those dolls? Proving that life in plastic is fantastic, Rod is taken to photographing his rubber love puppet Karina and sharing the modelling snaps on the interwebs. It's not all about rompy-pompy good times. Rod sometimes gets so emotional over a photo, he starts to cry. Tears, yes, that must be how they clean out those dolls. This is my worst birthday ever. Only last year, a Kazakhstan bodybuilder divorced his own sex robot. After a year of marriage, the relationship and rubber had disintegrated. He began having an affair with an ashtray, which isn't weird when you learn he's in love with it and wants to put a ring on it. And that ring is an artificial vajayjay. Human body composting is now legal. Big Funeral wants you to think you need a titanium coffin for future civilizations to dig you up and do weird things to you. You know the British ate Egyptian mummies to get wood. Natural organic reduction is the new sensation sweeping the deaf community. While cremation is bad for emissions, composting releases no soylent greenhouse gases. But if you want your body turned into tree food, you'll have to go to one of 6 American states. Maybe don't mention that at the airport. People scared of eating produce grown in corpse soil may be horrified to learn that gardens are covered in cow feces. Meat is dead animal, and the entire planet is a graveyard. But don't go thinking you can fold grandma up and pop her in the compost out back. These facilities place a body in a specialised chamber and rotate it. Don't think of a rotisserie chicken.
Until my grandchildren, I leave my empire of dirt.
How do you do, fellow kids?
29-year-old posed as a teenager to enroll in high school. This woman has shaken New Jersey by turning out to be an old Jersey. The nearly 30-year-old didn't pose as a senior, but a freshman. Literally so true, dear. Surely anyone looked at her and thought, damn, that girl is aging as badly as never being kissed. After 4 days of attending classes and texting other students, Haejong Shin tried to sign out early, and that's when she came clean. Who among us wouldn't admit to fraud to get out of PE? How many weeks of the year could you bring a note saying you have your period? Shin not only used a fake birth certificate, but is a political science graduate of Rutgers. In 2021, a Texan mom also turned back time when she posed as her 13-year-old daughter at middle school. Authorities are worried that teenage boys may come to expect a MILF in every class, which is considered dangerous while some of the boys still have their milk teeth. McDonald's under fire for crispy chicken burger ad opposite crematorium. And when I say under fire, I mean over fire. Flame tongues licking that chicken coffin good. It's crematorium. R.I.P. Grandpa. Critics have called the ad tasteless. I don't know, it looks pretty tasty to me. While it might put you off your din-dins, it's still better than body farm to table.
Give Nana a kiss.
The sign has upset some of the residents of Cornwall. Oh, even the town name makes me hungry. Cornwall Council, who owns the crematorium and bus stop, had plans to build a crematorium next to the old folks' home. What grade meat are you gonna get from a nonagenarian? Maybe less murder burger and more quirky jerky. Proof that birds aren't real. Taxidermy birds with drones stuffed inside are taking to the skies. But don't worry, they're studying the behavior of birds. Or so they tweet. Ever wonder why birds sit on power lines? They're recharging. And have you seen a pigeon and another pigeon in the same room at the same time? Didn't think so. Is it a bird? Is it a drone? It's a bird drone. My little spy bird. Military Wi-Fi password not encrypted. Feathered friends turning sky narcs has heated up the tinfoil hat community known as Birds Aren't Real, who believe all birds were culled by the US government in the 70s and replaced by robot replicants. If that sounds insane, please watch the video you are watching. And how all new technology goes military, pornography, toys, household cleaning. It'll be no time till Tweety Bird goes full metal jacket. Or Big Bird in bondage. Man caught breastfeeding on his wedding day? He might say I do, but she said I do not, after walking in on her man suckling from the teat of his mother. Here's a scourer for your brain. She has bad taste in men and he has good taste in mum. And this bride-to-be was only minutes away from kissing the groom, who weirdly had a sudden white moustache. This shocking news really shows you what red flags to look out for in a guy. Isn't onto solids, gets hangry when you take your bra off, needs burping before making love. Oh. Between calls to your psychologist for an emergency appointment, you might be wondering what quality milk this mama bear is squirting after 3 decades. Can you say yogurt? Scientists have revived a zombie virus. Just like the Oscars proved, you're never too old. This virus is making a comeback after 48,500 years. Warm temperatures in the Arctic are thawing out permafrost that has kept ancient horrors locked away. But scientists say the chances of an end-of-days pandemic unleashing upon humanity is low LOL. And it's not just pervy old viruses trying to get into your immune system. Radioactive waste from the Cold War is popping up to say, how's your papa? No, bacteria. Bad touch. A scientist at the NASA Jet Propulsion Lab says we need to keep the permafrost frozen as long as possible and are seeking emotional advice from your ex. While the experts are doing their best to contain the reach of these annihilator bacteria, it's only a matter of time until we see serial killers out on the ice with their hair dryers. Scientists also unearthed the mummified bodies of 2 cave lion cubs and a woolly rhino. I can't wait until sociopathic tech bros clone these relics back up into eating anyone under the height of 4'6". Vibrator company busted tracking users' sensual activity. Anyone who's had to explain why there are no batteries in the TV remote or smoke detector may have had their vibrator use watched by nerds. Canadian company WeVibe paid out 4 million Canuck bucks to customers. They were keeping abreast of customers' good vibrations. Love toy enthusiasts who used the app to enjoy long-distance sexy time with their partner were awarded 10,000 Canadian dollars, which is like telling someone to go F themselves and then paying them for it. A WeVibe spokesperson said, the company has updated its app so it can collect the exact same data, but you've got to read one of those 80-page user agreements before foreplay. If that sounds too arduous to scroll, leave your vibrator on the mouse and come back when it's done. While this activity is considered safe sex, there is a risk the vibrator catches feelings while double-clicking the mouse. Boston marathoner busted crapping on a stranger's lawn. While some competitors go for a gold medal, this guy went for a brown nugget. The mystery competitor walked into a stranger's yard and reenacted the end of the movie Men. At one point, another man walked up the path and the two argued mid-push. It's like making eye contact with your cat while it's doing its business. Worst of all, the grotty squat was captured on doorbell cam. That's a ding-dong gone wrong. After fertilizing the grass, not only did he fail to poop a scoop, but without loo paper, just pulled up his dax and let friction do all the cleaning. Maybe we're being too harsh. It is a marathon. Everyone has the runs. Boston, the capital of baked beans, is just asking for trouser geysers and eggings in leggings.
Don't you eat baked beans in my apartment?
You may recognize Boston as the setting of beloved TV show Cheers, where we also watched Norm lower himself over a stool. German man rescued in the woods after sexy game turns scary. The freaky fellow met up with a lascivious lady from Das Interwebs and decided to take her back to nature. The 51-year-old was found fully dressed, wearing pantyhosen over his head. He was bound with ropes and left atop a deer hunting platform.
Was ist das?
You go down to the woods today, you're sure of a big surprise. A German bloke tied up in rope with hope between his thighs.
The man told police he had a box cutter on his person for such events, but the bad dama had done so good with her knots, he couldn't reach his escape blade or his glücklich play. So much for lumberjacking it. I told him he should have gone with hockey straps. What kind of fool engages in bondage with stranger danger? A no-hope rope dope. But now he knows you play with rope, you get burned. Man shot his roommate for eating the last Hot Pocket. The 64-year-old drew a gun on his housemate in Louisville for chowing down on his final meat and pastry parcel, and it nearly turned into a midnight munchies murder. In Kentucky, it's not just the fried chicken that's got secrets. But you haven't even heard the worst part. The roommate was shot right in his back Hot Pocket. Oh yes, the shooter shot him in his tutor. The pocket was hardened, so was the barrel, see? The guy who caught a bullet in the bubble goose was treated for non-life-threatening injuries, while the assailant has to pay $7,500 to get out of jail. Once he does, his victim may want to watch his backside, because Hot Pocket revenge is best served cold. UFO sightings are on the rise. Here's a rundown of the latest. A Las Vegas family called 911 to report 10-foot-tall beings staring at them from their yard beside a crashed space vehicle. Only moments before, Las Vegas residents, including a cop, saw green light streak out of the sky towards the Earth. It wasn't said if the aliens had probes, because what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. A black disc eclipsed the sun over a soccer match in Mexico that Kiev scientists are calling
A ghost ship?
AI was used to analyze the photos and made it appear clearly as a flying saucer. Riz doggy. A UFO moving at 1,000 miles per hour was spotted during an air show in England by a guy who claims he's been abducted by aliens before. Is it a bit of fluff on the lens, or does he have a bit of fluff on his lens? Have you seen an alien? Machine Gun Kelly punched a fan in the face by request. Forget being a groupie. Would you fly across the globe to have your favourite muso sock you right in the kisser? A man flew from Mexico to Belgium this week, where he held up a sign at a Machine Gun Kelly concert. Proving that MGK fans can read and write, the sign said, "I just came from Mexico for you to punch me in the face." I didn't know Mexico had such good medical cover. Machine, or do you call him Gun? Or is it Kelly? Either way, Megan Fox's ex was worried about feeding the fan a knuckle sandwich as his fingies were packed with ringies. His itchy trigger fist got the best of him and he played the downbeat beatdown on the dude's bazoo. Gotta be the first time a Make-A-Wish request could end a life instead of extending it. Recently, a fan threw her mother's ashes on stage at a Pink concert. What's next? Bringing your nana to the Eras tour so Tay-Tay can assist in euthanasia? Ooh, look what you made her do. Bunny burglar cleaned out laundromat. Caught on camera. A bad wabbit wobbing the winner's wash-worn dress in Illinois. So that's where all those missing socks went. This felonious furry caused hysteria in the washateria with his cash and dash. But was he there to burgle or to wash money for the bunny mob? Quincy Police Department asks that if you see a 6-foot-tall bunny, take your medication. And if that medication grows in a forest, those bunnies are about to multiply. It won't be Alice chasing this white rabbit, but the long paw of the law.
Next up on This Week in Weird, Pelican cannibalizes crunchy capybara.
Man implanted microchip into his own brain? You better not be eating because this one is extreme. A Russian man performed surgery on himself last month, which is fine because he's a neurosurgeon, except he isn't. Michael Raduga lost over a litre of blood during the 10-hour DIY operation, but it gets even worse. He held the skin back with paper clips. More than 7 holes in a head in this economy? It's just opulence. But why did the 40-year-old play Operation on himself? He wanted to control his dreams. Brain surgery in your lounge to fight dinosaurs at night? It's the Temu version of Jurassic Park you need like a hole in the head. The researcher educated himself on brain surgery just like we learned how to do the unicorn cut here on YouTube. The microchip was removed 5 weeks later and won't be replaced because you can't double dip the chip.
Hello? Hello?
Are humans dressing up as bears to trick zoo visitors? Does a person dressed as a bear in the woods? Zoo goers in the eastern Chinese province of Zhejiang say there's a bear in there and a man as well. Are we looking at a staff member in a costume or a sun bear standing on hind legs to get a better view of the small and edible children behind the railing? Like when your parents kept Mars bars on the high shelf. Zoo officials maintain Angela the bear is not a human, which can only mean aliens. A staff member said that in the heat of summer, no way could a person survive in fur without collapsing. Then explain to me how the bears do it. I guess this all really proves my point. The only animals that deserve to live in zoos are human. Do you think they're bare inside the bear suit? Like, what if the staff inside of them are all women and they're the bare naked ladies? It's been a weird year. Thank you for joining me on my first 365 of YouTube here on Creepovision.
I'm one.
And our comments are dying art? Leave me one now to prove you're not just all of Elon's real followers. And I want you to tell me which one was your favorite wacky news story. A new This Week in Weird is only days away, and this has been one hell of a year, but let's make the next one even weirder. I'm thinking an evil goatee. Until next time, keep it weird.
You are so creepy. I know that I adopted you guys after.
Hey, where you going? Watch this next.
Bye.